What is going on, my baboon brothers, my simian sisters? Digits here with another Advanced Force by Web replay analysis. Today we're continuing the rarely used CO series, the series where we examine the COs that might not get as much love as the other COs. I'm talking about STURM, Grit, Sammy, Sony, and the like. Honestly, y'all really enjoyed my video that I had against Lucky Player when I was playing Sammy vs. Eagle, where I broke down how to play Sammy, what situations you use the CO power, which situations you go the Super CO power. So likewise, this video is going to be a little more in-depth of how to use STURM effectively, when you should choose STURM, etc. So, just as a background, you don't see STURM very often because he is banned from all of standard play, and in Fog, he is only allowed in Tier 1. And in fact, even in some maps in the Fog League, he's banned on those as well, so you don't see STURM very often. And sometimes, you don't choose him even when you can, because he can be outclassed by Von Bolt, he can be outclassed by Hawk, etc. So, I want to talk about why did I choose STURM here, when you should choose STURM, and how to use him effectively. So this game right here took place on the map Small Garden House. It's been in the Fog rotation for ages now. This is a live league game. We're playing pretty quickly, maybe not playing 100% well, but still a lot of valuable lessons to be learned here. Small Garden House, 19k per side. What's notable about this map is there's 4 comm towers instead of 2, so each player will have 2 comm towers with a 20% firepower bonus. One is actually already pre-capped. You don't have to actually cap it. The contested properties, notably, are these ones in the corner over here. This one over here, these 2 in the corner, and then these are the most contested right here in the center. You can get it locked down by an artillery from both sides, so sometimes you can have a little stallier matchup in the middle if you have artillery pre-positioned there, and just these might not be capped the entirety of the game. Now, this was a Tier 1 matchup, might I add. Grit was allowed as well. Grit is allowed in Tier 1 Fog. I think he's also allowed in some maps in Tier 2 Fog as well, but let's talk about STURM here. So, why did I pick STURM here? Well, let's note here this is a Tier 1 matchup and Von Bolt was banned. Since it is a base light matchup with only 2 bases and 1 airport, typically Von Bolt's banned when there's only 2 bases or less. So no Von Bolt. Hawk's allowed, Sasha's allowed, STURM's allowed, Grit's allowed. Javier is banned as well, actually, I should note, because there's multiple towers. So basically you have those choices. So why did I choose STURM? Take a look at the map and try to guess why I might choose STURM here. There's a few reasons why. Okay, let's unpause now. Number 1 reason. Every single vehicle that has to fight goes through a forest. Like, you can go around this way, but you're still losing momentum. This goes through a forest. This way goes through the forest. This way goes through a forest. This way goes through a forest. Every single reinforcement line goes through a forest. Meaning, if I choose STURM, whose movement is not impaired by any terrain, all of my vehicles gain 1 extra movement compared to my opponents. Every single part on the map I go, I am guaranteed at least 1 movement advantage, which is pretty huge, by the way. That's like having an adder power the entirety of the game. That is nothing to sneeze at. That is a huge advantage right there. And those are the maps, when you are forced to go through multiple forests, and it really helps you reinforce, that is one thing I absolutely look for in STURM. That's the most straightforward thing. Here's the thing that might surprise you guys. Why else did I choose STURM here? Multiple comm towers. 2 comm towers is phenomenal for STURM. Why is that though? So STURM has 80% firepower, 120 defense. And if you have 2 comm towers, it's 100 firepower, 120 defense. The thing about defense for COs is it works different from terrain. STURM on a road has 20% defense. Andy in a forest has 20% defense. However, they are not the same. If Andy is knocked down to 5 defense in a forest, he will have less defense than STURM, who is knocked down to 5 on a road. Why is that? Because when you're on terrain, you lose some of the terrain advantage as you get weaker. As your unit gets weaker, you lose some of the terrain advantage. Hence, you see like a tank on a city gets knocked down to 6, then it dies the next turn. Because it does 4 damage the first time, then 6 the next time because it has weak in defense. STURM and Von Bolt's defense is constant. So it does not change. If you're at 4 HP, you have the same amount of defense as if you're at 9 HP. It does not matter. Of course, you're still impacted by the terrain changes like any other CO, but just in general, defense is better than terrain defense. It is not the same. Therefore, what does having 2 comm towers do for you? For STURM, if you have 100% firepower, you guarantee 2-hit KO of your opponent's tanks and infantry on planes, which seems like a small feat. Yeah, you're kind of used to that, right? Everyone always 2-hit KOs on planes. Yeah, but your opponent will not 2-hit KO your own tanks, your own infantry on planes. It is not guaranteed. You guarantee 2-hit KOs on them on planes? they do not guarantee 2-hit KOs on you on planes. And that is huge, folks. If they're trying to clear you out, they can't. That is something, and there's a lot of planes here. Notice the majority of the map here is planes. That is, I would argue that might be even bigger than the forest reinforce. STURM there, incredibly good. One last thing, a little lower income, so recons are pretty nice. I like using recons in lower income because every property matters, so if you can interrupt your opponent's capture phase, also a nice boon. But those 3 things in general are why I love STURM here. Also, this little forest here, you can plop some artillery there. STURM loves ranged units. Not as much as Grit, but he does love ranged units. Now let's talk about Grit here. I know why Izunagi chose Grit here. These forests here, they're just such good positioning. You can really like build up units, wall up, and slowly get forward. You start off with artillery here, then you have an artillery here. Then you have, before you know it, you have 10 artillery here, and they just start marching down. Down, they take this property, down, they take this property, down, they take this property. Like, it is a slow war of attrition, World War I style, in the trenches sort of fight. However, STURM is good at countering that because of his fast zippity recons that have 8 movement with no impediments from the terrain. Therefore, as the STURM player playing against Grit, you want to strike early and often. You do not want to tech up. You do not want to build medium tanks. You do not want to build bombers. You do not want to build neo tanks. You want to be building recons, tanks, anti-air, copters. That is your bread and butter right there. Focus on quantity, not quality, when you're facing Grit. That's more of a Grit sort of video analysis right there, but technically, when I'm playing STURM, I don't like building battlecopters. However, if I'm playing Grit, I will build battlecopters, because STURM battlecopters are not very good. They still usually get 1-hit KO by anti-air. However, they do much less damage, so it's like, they're doing less damage, but they still get 1-hit KO by anti-air. However, versus Grit, they don't get 1-hit KO by his anti-air. They actually live from that extra defense and Grit's really bad vehicular attacks. So, in that instance, I do like copters here. Anyway, without further ado, let's start the game right here. I'm the bottom of the black hole. I will not be showing my opponent's point of view, just so you guys know how I play. So, spooky, nothing happens in the top. I go fourth. I go for the easy caps here. Look, and also, look at this chain right here. I didn't mention it. Chain. Normally, you can't capture this, but mountain, no terrain cost. That is a 3-in-a-row chain right there. Beautiful. Simply beautiful. So, starting off pretty standard, going for the more aggressive cap here. A lot of people get a day 3 recon. I think it has viability. It really depends on the map right here, but I didn't really see a need for early recon. I don't think you'd be over in the contested properties area on day like 4 or 5 when my recon gets up there. There's no need to rush a recon if their opponent's not even there yet. Like, it's just gonna be sitting there for 1 or 2 turns, just chilling in the center or over here. Like, you want to make sure you time your recon openings appropriately. Typically, when I go STURM, one of my favorites is day 4 double recon if you have the funds, which usually you do. So I'm gonna have 9k next turn, so I'm gonna have enough for a double recon. I believe I go for it just because it's a beautiful opening. Double recon. Attack everywhere at once. Your opponent can only build 1 tank. They can only respond to 1 recon here, and oftentimes they can't respond to either of them for a day. So you get 1 free hit at least, probably 2 or 3 early hits. So, how will the Grit player combat this? So 1 recon goes over there. I'm rushing. Look, notice I rush towards the middle. I want to get this before he locks down the artillery. It just needed to know. I need to get this and not allow this. Notice, already making sure he's not there, and I am here. It's day 5. There is no way in hell he can stop this unless he breaks his infantry or 2 to stop me. Getting my good vision. Build some infantry. I could build a recon there. I decided not to. I wanted to go double tank next turn, I believe, with 14k. So, he makes his turns. I see nothing going on. Bring my recon over there. And actually, you sly players, you might have noticed this. These comm towers. That's a C tile right there. You can't go across a C tile. There's a C tile here. It's hard to go around. Infantry right here. C tile. Thank you. My comm tower. Now, as I was saying, STURM with 2 comm towers is great. STURM with 3 comm towers versus 1 comm tower is phenomenal. Because then you're going to have the extra defense that's hard to kill, and you're actually going to hit like a normal CO with the comm tower. With 3 comm towers, you're doing 110%, which means you're 2-hit KOing guys in forests, not just plains, but now you're guaranteed 2-hit KOing in forests with the units of the same type. So, I snag that, I double tank, I bring my recon over here, I see this, I don't want to get too crazy, I don't want to interrupt that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like a tank could reach me, you could have an artillery in the forest, you don't want to get too cocky. His tank comes in though, he was ready, he was smart as Nagi. A lot of people with grit, they tend to go, artillery, 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 artillery. At the beginning, build your own recons, build your own tanks, they're invaluable. Likewise, he has a recon there, he has a tank there, he's prepared, but the STURM defense, too stern, can't break through. Infantry going to the captured property, I have to retreat, I don't have a tank in position. Goes over here smartly, doesn't get overextending, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I attack there, could be attacked by a tank. Izanagi is a very knowledgeable grit player. He's played grit hundreds of times. So I get the comm tower. The question for me now is, how much am I willing to sack for this comm tower? I can get an income advantage over grit, and I probably will. I can stop this, I will get this, and I'll get these 2 middle properties. But how much am I willing to give over this comm tower? Because this is typically not that contested, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 turns each, but with STURM, I get there quicker through this forest, so I can actually go a little bit further. But it's so close, you know, you can put an artillery here, or even for grit on the city, and it will reach. It's very tricky. And I retreat here because I don't know where the artillery is, guys. I'm backing up. Build more recons because we love our unit quantity. Don't forget that. Recon comes in, lives, because his units... Look at this. I even get some back hit. It must be a 7. I do 1 damage back to him. That's going to be frustrating. Now the question is, how do I consolidate my position? We'll talk about STURM in a second. It'll come up and you'll be a little surprised. I've talked about it briefly in other videos, but there's a certain unit that might not seem very intuitive that's actually very good. So I bring my tank over there, attack the other tank. I mean, I could have killed off the recon, but I figured I'd neuter the tank a little bit. Give or take. I don't think I would have 1-hit KO'd it, so maybe that's why I didn't kill it off there on the shoal. Bring my own tank forward, build my artillery. Now I'm thinking artillery, this forest, I can lock him down. Typically, you never build artillery versus grit. Just don't do it. He's going to outrange you. It's like shooting at someone with like a 22 pistol and they have like an assault rifle and you're fighting from like 200 meters away. It's not going to end well for you. However, in this one situation, I just want to prevent the property. I'm not trying to push. I'm not trying to do anything else. I just want to lock down the comm tower. I want to have 3-1. Start my capture phase. I'm shifting everything over here. Notice I'm shifting everything over here, just keeping that 1 recon there. It is locking down. He's got nothing over there. I have full intelligence of what's going on. Tank attacks. Or sorry. Artillery attacks from somewhere, probably from this or from this plane over there, so that hurts. Tank disappears. I don't even know where that went. Tank attacks from over there. Tank attacks, or recon attacks over there. Thankfully, it doesn't cap it. I just need 2 turns to get set up there. Just 2 turns to set up there. So I'm wondering what's happening behind the scenes. Just that. Capture my properties slowly but surely. 18k. Grit's probably only got like 15k right now. Attack the recon. Don't quite kill it off. Now I do with my other recon. I'm staying out of the artillery range. Making sure I capture my contested properties. Bringing the artillery up sneakily in the forest. It will reach in 1 more turn. Bringing a tank to the center, but now I'm going to throw in the whole kitchen sink over there. I have 17k, which means copter, tank, infantry, which I think I built this turn. And I'm going to send the whole kitchen sink over here. I don't want grit to win this. Also, this is a live league game, which means at day 30, whoever has the most properties wins. Doesn't matter how many units you have, doesn't matter how many whatevers. If you don't have more properties, you lose. If you have the same properties, you draw. And I have more properties right now, so I'm gonna stick with it. He captures the property. This devious guy, he built a black boat in order to guarantee his comm tower back. This guy, he's a devious one. This is Nagi 007. That's not a pre-deployed back boat. He built a black boat in order to block me from here. But I just need to find a way to get that and then just lock that artillery there. I'm so close. But he's blocked here. He's blocked here. Blocked here. There's a tank even over there. How am I going to... And there's an artillery there. Am I able to get through? Izanagi is sending his whole army over here as well. Even his backwards facing infantry. Well, actually, there's a few backwards facing. What the heck is going on with those guys? I'm a little confused in the ranks. However, I baboon into it. I do not want to allow that comm tower. I don't know if it's the right move. but it's the Deej move. And look, oh, there's gonna be some deaths. He's gonna get a power. Boom, one shot. Boom, one shot. Boom, one shot. Like these two tanks, these 3 units are dead. For the cost of a comm tower, is it worth it? Maybe not. But he did build a black boat too, so he invested his own unit that kind of stinks into it. So it's an interesting trade. I build the rockets. Here's the unit I was talking about that's surprisingly good for STURM. Why is the STURM rockets good? Its movement is 5, just as good as a medium tank, not impeded by any terrain, especially versus Grit. It outranges Grit artillery. It's the one unit that can push Grit back. Granted, if he has a power, he can reach you with an artillery, so I like to keep my rockets in a forest most of the time. But it pushes Grit back. It's like the most counterintuitive thing you can think of, but STURM rockets versus Grit are really good. STURM rockets, STURM battlecopters, STURM recons versus Grit, it's going to spell trouble for Grit. It pushes him back. And look, 2 turns, and I'm in position to block. 1 turn, I can attack the thing that's in front of there. A black boat, if needed. So that rockets, it ain't playing around. It seems like a goofy flex. It's not. I'm playing incredibly serious right now. That rockets, I think, has a lot of utility. Doesn't quite kill off my recon. Doesn't quite kill off my tank. Chooses not to use a power here. Kills off my recon. I can't see anything, but he does not cap, which buys me another turn. Recon comes in. Now he's starting getting a little feisty. I think he might have seen that I have an artillery there, but I'm not 100% sure. So I attack the recon since this is not capping, which is nice. Gives me a little respite. Rockets comes in the range now. So if there's a blocker, the rockets can attack. I'm already loving this rockets, but now I'm like, I need to spam out my battlecopters. He's definitely got anti-air, but I want to make sure. I try to sneak this property over here. He might be able to interrupt me. I'm not entirely sure, but he's sending everything over here, so it's doubtful he has something. Kill off the infantry, block for the artillery. Although this is probably going to be a dead man. It's on the shoal, so maybe that was not the wisest choice. Attacks in. Barely owes me here. I have great defense versus him. Yep. On a shoal. Owie. Okay, that hurts. Black boat blocks over here now, it looks like. Infantry attacks. Infantry caps. Will he go in and fight me in? Will he fight into me here? That's what I'm waiting for. And I wait. Nothing. I'm close to my own power. He has his own power. Now I have 20,000. If you guys remember, at the beginning of the game, I said 19,000 per side, I think. So, I got a pretty good advantage. Although I'm going to have 21. So I'm going to have 2k above, so I have a 4k income advantage. I have this property over him, and I have this property over him. So I have 4k. So he's going to have... I'm going to have 21,000, he's going to have 17,000, which is pretty significant, to be perfectly honest. So I'm starting my battlecopter spammage. Get the rock in position. Attack the infantry. And can I hold this? I know Izanagi is devious, though. You never underestimate the deviousness of Izanagi. So I'm expecting anything to happen here. Reveals the artillery. Black boat comes in, reveals these things like a little Normandy landing, goes for a capture here, and goes for a snipe attack. And when using Grit, typically you want to go for the power. The superpower does not give you any extra firepower. It increases your range by 2 instead of 1, but it does not give you any extra firepower. Therefore, in the majority of situations, you want to be using Grit's power. To kill my artillery over there, anti-air comes in, but when an anti-air is revealed, my copters are going to run free. But he's... Oh no! Oh no, my rockets! Artillery hits me over here. Caps over here. Sneaky little artillery over there. Lets out a bustling 7 infantry. Tank gets a hit over here. I am trapped now. I am stuck. This is a little trap right here. I'm stuck on this stupid black boat. And he caps over here. This is kind of a scary attack by Izanagi, to be honest. I'm trapped. That's a dead recon, but I can't allow that. I have to stop that. I will stop these 2 infantry. Copter gets in a free hit, basically, because I need to kill this anti-air by all means necessary. Will that kill? Not quite. Low roll. I cannot allow this cap, though. So now the rockets is free. Probably going to attack the anti-air because I don't want my own copter to be hit. Tank goes over here, attack that tank. It's healing. Another thing about STURM. Ideally versus Grit, you want to take a hit and just heal. Like this 2 HP, I don't want to attack in. I want to heal this. I want to heal this 5 HP. I want to heal all my weakened units because I have more income. And once Grit has a very high income unit count, a unit count above you, he can have lower income, he can have lower unit value. But if he has higher unit count than you, you're pretty much going to lose. Because I don't care if you have 20 Neo Tanks. If he has 100 artillery, even though a Neo Tank's probably worth more, the artillery win. An artillery ball, it ain't killing you. I mean, you ain't winning versus that. So, attack the little black boat, excuse me, folks. Start my copter spammage. Oh, I stopped my copter spammage. I'm saving up for something. Who knows? What could each of them? Could be another octave. Who knows? Who knows? This tank gets smacked by something I can't even see. I lose my recon, which sucks. So now I can't press over here. I might be losing this property soon. He's got infantry in position and a tank. I have nothing. Artillery attacks there. Artillery moves forward. He doesn't carry. He's on the freaking road. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's one base range, so tank attacks me there, but my defense is too strong. Barely kills me there. He's going for the cap. Oh, does not go for the cap. Goes. Interesting. I would have capped and combined. Honestly, if I were him, I would have capped and combined. Just to guarantee it, or get very close to a guarantee. But I'm just coming in with my copters. Boom, I hate that black boat. Attack the infantry. See, if he had combined, this would be enough. It would be 3, so I'd have to force a tank to attack into that as well. So I feel like he missed the opportunity for combining. Then I send my copters in to go hog wild because I'm very close to my superpower. The thing why STURM counters Grit likes to clump up in balls. So Von Bolt and STURM and Rachel, they punish Grit hard because he's all clumped up, and the missiles and the meteors and the Von Bolt Shocky-Walkie, they all hit you. And it ain't a pretty sight. So I use my Meteor Strike. Bonk. I don't even see what's going on over here, but it did a lot of damage. 8 damage. So these are all weak, so I'm like, F it, I'm just going to attack in. See what's over there. Honestly, maybe I should have done this before so I could see what's going on. But it looks like there's an anti-air, copter, a little bit of schlop. But then he attacks over here. It's his turn. Tank comes in, boom. But my extra defense stops him. But, oh, now it looks like it's going to fall. My comp tower is completely undefended. I do have a tank and an infantry over there. So not all hope is lost. Kills my recon. Good idea, killing the vision. My defense is high, though, from the power. It gives you extra 10% defense, and I have 130% defense, so it's very hard to kill my units. Retreats. He needs to heal up a little bit. Look at that schlop. Look at all that schlop. So now it's day 15. We're halfway there. If I can keep this up, we're looking good. How many units do I have? 19. How many units does he have? I don't want to give up anything. He has more than me. Actually, let's look at the KD. Let's look at the KD. I have 15 deaths to 8 kills. So it looks like we're doing great. Woo-wee, yeah! I'm actually behind 7 units. Granted, a lot of units are weakened, but 7 units versus Grit's not good. I mean, I sacrificed a lot for this comm tower. It's not like, oh, I was just winning the whole time. I'm giving up a lot for that. I have to keep it now at this point, or else I lose because he's going to have a unit advantage on me. So I have an income advantage, and I have both comm towers, or rather 3 of the 4 comm towers. So, but he has the coveted unit advantage. But I'm just going to go in. I gotta press him right now. Right after the power. Hell, I'm bringing my rockets up into a very aggressive position. Tanky's coming in, boom. Copter's coming in, boom. Copter attacks over there. Kills off that. Now I'm feeling feisty. Start reinforcing to the side over here. He starts capping over here. Tank attacks. Unfortunately for the tank, I am now in position to attack. He's got 2 tanks, but it's not enough to even KO me. There is an or a whatever the hell it's called. So that's a bit scary. I don't have anything to counter that. I do need a copter or something over here. That'd be great. So I'm debating how am I going to address that anti-air. He's attacking over there. Copter's attacking in. Oh, look at that trade. Ooh, full to me. Knocks him to 5, knocks him to 7. I attack again. It's probably knocking him to like 4 and knocking me to like 3 or 4. Like it just... Bad trades. Bad trades. And then... look at this shit. 5 HP, knocking me down only to a 6, and I do 2 back. Damn. Dang, 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 dang. But this black boat's a pain in the ass cheeks. Don't get me wrong. It's healing up and also blocking very effectively. This black boat is surprisingly being an MVP. But I am super close to the base net right now. I have to be careful. He's going to have double base reinforce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anything in this area is within 2 turns of this base and this base. Actually, 1 turn of this base, 2 turns of this base. God knows how many turns from me, 3 or 4 for my bases. So don't want to get too cocky here. I want to get the contested properties. This, and then retreat. These 2, and then like retreat or hold. Don't press. Don't keep pressing. Just get the contested and leave. A lot of people miss that part. They get too cocky. Tank comes in, I attack his tank. I'm like, F it. I don't even care. I'm just gonna overwhelm him with vehicles, bring my copters in. The speed which this goes over here, because zooming through the forest and everything, I will reach there just as quick as him. Copters come in, bagonga. I'm just going ham at the top. I'm attacking on all fronts, which I do not recommend. But I'm just putting the max pressure on Izanagi. I feel like I have to put max pressure. I'm going to lose over here. I'm going to lose this tank, Maybe there might be another artillery over there. I'm going to lose both these copters and both these tanks, but I have to maintain the pressure. So it's always a trade-off. One to retreat and heal up the units, and one to attack. In a live league situation, I'm more inclined to put on the gas pedal. In a more advanced, slower situation, I'm probably more inclined to just not get too greedy. I'm getting a little greedy right now, and he might punish me for that. So kills off a copter, kills off another copter. These tanks are not looking happy. But they live? Okay. Well, this tank ain't living. And there's a Riki. He's getting a peeky. But luckily, there is not another vehicle to strike me. I wait. Nothing happens. Okay. I have a lot of money. What am I going to do with that money? Let's see if I can reach that artillery. Ooh. I can reach it. I smack it in the face. Like a smacky cup. I stay out of the recon's vision. I'm trying to be tricky over here. I don't want to invite an anti-air. I want to make sure I get at least 1 free hit on that tank if I can. Especially if I bring multiple copters in. I start retreating. Like I said, I got what I wanted. I'm retreating now. I should probably front shift over there, actually. I might do that. No, I don't. I front shift a few. Build a recon. Axe my recon. Pretty quiet turn for him. Nothing really happens. He's starting to death ball up. I'm like, okay. He's starting to get defensive. That's a bad sign. I mean, he's giving up on the contested properties, which means there's only 12 days left. He has to get at least 3 caps to win with 12 days left. So I'm like, okay. I build my own rockets here. The idea. Rocket here, locks down that property. Beautiful. 2 turns. That's it. Now I'm in defensive mode. I'm like, alright. If he's going to be defensive, I'm going to save up a lot of money. I'm going to build a lot of rockets. And I don't know how he's going to push through the rockets. Grit's good at like being very slowly and methodically pushing, but if I can fight back with my own rockets, it's going to be hard for him to take the artillery strikes from the rockets. So he's slowly but surely coming in. I attack with my copter. Honestly, here, I expected an anti-air. I could have attacked with just infantry and sacked it, but I was like, I don't know, the cockiness was getting to me a lot. I was just like, I just need to buy another turn. This rocket can zoom over there. I'll be okay. I'm starting to front shift a bit. I'm starting to really proliferate rockets now. I just like want to consolidate what I have right now. And I'm like, you know what? F it. This copter's gonna die. I might as well attack with another copter. There's no way there's more than 1 anti-air over here. So I'm like, F it. If I'm gonna do a strike, I might as well do 2. So I'm gonna lose 1 of these probably. If not, then I got really lucky. Yep, I lose 1 of them. Which is fine. As long as I got 2 strikes instead of 1 and lost a copter, so it's like, whatever. Infantry is still in position. I know there's going to be artillery like at the wazoo over here, so I'm debating where to put my units. Copter goes at the top. Also, look at the time. We got plenty of time. Both of us are playing very quickly. I think we're pretty comfortable with the speed. The rockets is in the beautiful position now. I just when that reaches the forest there, I was like, take the load off. Like I can finally relax. Now he has to come to me. Grit is very uncomfortable being offensive like this. Now he has to come to me. The role-playing changes, but he's holding on to his superpower, which is a little concerning. So I'm a little worried. I'm actually bringing my rockets over here, I guess to put it over here so I can guard both these properties. I think that's what this rockets is for. Slowly front shifting. Stay 20. What can Izanagi do? I know there's an army behind there. But if I can put an infantry or a recon here, he cannot strike my rockets without an artillery, because he can only reveal it from one square. So I'm just waiting. I saw something. What was that? Anti-air. Alright, well, that means I guess I'll move my copters. Copter moving over there. Slop copter, indeed. Recon, actually? I go in over there. Wow. I got pretty lucky here. I mean, I could kill it with this, but there's a rocket there. I sniffed some blood. Boom, big hit right there. Knock. That is a lot of damage right there. That's 15k. I just did about 12k of damage to him. That hurts. And I kill off the anti-air, and I attack over there. I see this little stuff going on over here. Start to consolidate. Honestly, like, I'm feeling very comfortable. I got rockets here locking, I got rockets here locking, I got rockets here locking. I'm living the STURM rockets life. I build my own black boat. I don't even remember building this, but I guess kind of a shout out to Izanagi. Like, hey man, you build a black boat? I'm going to put mine right here, and you will never be able to get my rockets. My rockets will be 100% safe. These black boats have a lot of defense. Never mind the STURM defense combined. Put in the shoal right here, that rockets is like at home. I'm feeling incredibly good. Yeah, he just resigned. So, I mean, this rocket hit hurt. You couldn't use the attack. Now let's reveal what he had. He had a battleship. Let's see. How do we reveal? He had a pretty low... Actually, yeah, he's not looking too good here. He had a battleship which could strike all of these units. He could actually strike my rockets with a superpower if he wanted to. Maybe even one-shot it with a battleship. A lot of units, but let's see where it went wrong for him. I mean, granted, STURM versus Grid is a hard matchup for Grid. I'm not going to lie there. So I really like this opening. First tank. He was prepared for my recon. Sadly, it wasn't enough. I snuck that by him. Maybe the tank should have met one a little closer, like here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then he could have swung around. Imagine if the tank went either here or here. I could have swung around. Or on this port over here. There's a lot of opportunity there. And he unfortunately was not able to get it. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, this guy couldn't strike me either. So I got pretty happy there. He was killing me a lot of my units here. Like there. Ow. He's ahead. He's ahead. He's ahead. I'm ahead on income. That hurts. Ends my turn. Pretty equal. Boom. Get some more kills. But unit value-wise, I'm doing pretty good. I think Grit went a little too crazy here. I think this is where it went downhill for him. I forced him to be on the offensive. Fight into the dragon's den. Grit does not like to be offensive quickly. He likes to methodically push forward. STURM is blitzkrieg attacking. Like, now we're fighting on my terms. He fights into me here. I'm like, dude, my reinforce is super close. You're gonna go boom, 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 bang, 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 bang. Still behind, actually, in unit value at the end of the turn. Dang. Okay. Power of Grit, guys. Boom. Retreats here. Smart move. He had to retreat. He's pretty ahead right here, actually. But I just go crazy, and then this big meteor does help me out a lot. He might have gone a little too crazy in the anti-air. Actually, no, I think he did fine. I don't like the Grit copters, though. I think he could have built more teched up units here, and it would be hard for me to deal up with his teched up units, like a medium tank. How do I attack his medium tank? My rockets, I guess? My copters, perhaps, but then they die to the anti-air. You can't really tech up verse Grit, but Grit can tech up verse you. Grit medium tanks are not bad. Grit neo tanks are not bad. Grit bombers are bad. Don't build Grit bombers, but missiles have flyability. Put in this forest over here. That's like a huge zone I can attack. You put in this city even closer. There you go. So he could have teched up there. I think he should have teched up. I did like the little black boat move. It was cute. But he had unit count for a while, but then I think this is the turn right here. Just go nutty butt. And, yeah, that, when I'm ahead on everything now, you can't really come back from it. But yeah, I hope you guys learned something. Remember, Goldilocks. STURM's defense is better than Andy's defense if on equal terrain to his defensive value. Don't forget that. Defense matters more than offensive Advanced Force. Number 2, movement through forest. If there's a lot of forest, choose STURM, especially if it's like, you know, every single base. If it was just this one, and they'll say there's no forest here. A little less inclined to do STURM, but every single movement you take has to go through a forest, basically. So STURM, very good there. The Goldilocks feature, Recon's good. Double comm towers. So anyway, hope you guys learned a lot about how to play STURM, and catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.